Attention passionate Washington Commanders fans. Latest news, something big is happening in the NFC East and it could change the game. We're talking about a direct impact on Washington Commanders' path to another Super Bowl run, a power shift that could leave a division rival stumbling for years. We're bringing this to you firsthand. But before that, if you're a true Washington Commanders fan, subscribe to the channel to strengthen this passion even more. Show that you're also part of this family. Let's help each other reach 1,000 subscribers. Share with YOUR, FRINDS and Washington, Commanders FANS. Let's get to the news. Now, folks, buckle up because the NFL landscape is shifting in a way that could dramatically impact the NFC East, and more specifically, the Washington Commanders. The buzz, as reported by Adam Schefter and other insiders, points to some intriguing interdivision moves that could redefine how teams approach their rosters and game plans moving forward. At the center of this whirlwind is the Commanders' desire to find a perfect mismatch in their offensive attack, especially targeting a young, emerging star tight end from the Detroit Lions, Sam Laporta. That's right, folks, Laporta, who's been making waves all season, is now potentially on the move, and the implications are massive for both sides. The Commanders, currently sitting at a solid 4-2 record, are looking to elevate their passing game, which has shown flashes of brilliance but still lacks that consistent, game-changing weapon. Laporta, as many of you know, has been nothing short of spectacular this season. Drafted in the second round of 2023, he made an instant impact, earning a Pro Bowl nod in 2024, and this year he's been even better. Through 6 games, Laporta has amassed 28 receptions for 312 yards and 3 touchdowns. His YAC, yards after catch, is a phenomenal 9.4 yards per reception, and he's been a matchup nightmare, especially on seam routes, with a success rate of 75%. His PFF grade sits at a staggering 89.7, placing him among the top tight ends in the league, and he's averaging 1.8 yards per route run. What makes Laporta so appealing is not just his stats but his ability to create mismatches. He's a player who can stretch the field, dominate in the red zone, and be a reliable target in critical moments. His career stats now stand at over 100 yards and 15 touchdowns, with an impressive 88.3 PFF grade overall. He's also proven resilient, bouncing back from a concussion in Week 2 of 2025 and overcoming a knee injury in 2024 that limited him to 14 games. His average contested catch rate is 60%, showcasing his ability to make tough grabs, and in the red zone, he's been a game-changer with a projected 17% increase in efficiency. So, why is the Commanders eyeing Laporta? Well, it's all about creating that mismatch, that explosive element that can turn a good offense into a great one. With Sam Howell at quarterback, the team has shown flashes of brilliance, but adding a weapon like Laporta could elevate their scoring potential significantly. His presence alone can open up opportunities for other players, giving Washington a versatile, dynamic attack that opponents will struggle to defend. Imagine Laporta lining up in the seam, drawing coverage away from Deebo Samuel, who's been excellent himself with an average of 8.2 yards per target. The synergy between these two could be electric, especially in critical moments like third down or red zone situations. Now, let's talk about the other side of this story, the Detroit Lions. They're a team with a solid 5-1 start, sitting comfortably near the top of the division with a deep, talented roster. Detroit's focus this season has been their explosive run game, averaging around 140 yards per game on the ground, which has been a cornerstone of their offensive success. They're also a team with cap space, around $20 million, and a roster full of young, talented players. Their current strategy seems to be prioritizing extensions for key players like Amon-Ra St. Brown, who's proven to be a reliable target with a remarkable ability to generate yards after the catch, and they're also looking to strengthen their secondary. This is where the move for Laporta comes into focus. Detroit appears to be skeptically moving him as a reserve and considering a draft pick in exchange. Their goal is to free up some cap space, around $12 million, by trading Laporta, which would allow them to bolster their secondary, an area that, despite their overall success, has shown vulnerabilities, allowing an average of just 1.9 touchdowns per pass. The Lions' focus on picks and cap management indicates their desire to stay flexible and reinforce their roster depth, especially with the NFL's increasingly passing-heavy offenses. For the Commanders, the addition of Laporta could be transformative. It's not just a simple trade, it's a strategic move that could redefine their offensive identity. Think about it, adding a player of Laporta's caliber, a player who's been projected to gain over 900 yards in the upcoming weeks, would significantly boost their passing EPA per pass, increasing from 18 to 34. That's a massive jump, translating into more yards per attempt, higher completion percentages, and more sustained drives. His ability to generate YAC yards after catch adds an extra layer of explosiveness, making every pass more dangerous. Furthermore, Laporta's presence would have a ripple effect on the red zone, where the Commanders historically have struggled to convert opportunities into touchdowns. With Laporta lining up as a red zone weapon, the team's scoring efficiency in that critical area could jump from 1.4 touchdowns per game to around 2.2. That's a game changer. It's reminiscent of how Travis Kelce's presence elevated the Kansas City Chiefs' offense in 2018, helping them add over 200 yards in a season and transforming their red zone efficiency. Laporta, with his explosiveness and reliable hands, could have a similar impact. It's also important to consider the strategic implications for the Lions. While they're currently on a trajectory that could see them finishing around 12-5, their focus on extending players like St. Brown indicates a commitment to maintaining a high-powered offense. Their deep run odds, at around 60%, reflect that they're contenders, but losing Laporta could impact their explosive potential, especially in critical playoff moments. The Lions' approach is clear. They want to keep their core intact and enhance areas like their secondary, which has shown vulnerability, and their draft picks could be crucial in that effort. Now, what about the upcoming deadline, set for April 4th? That's when all these moves could come into sharper focus. The Commanders, with about $22 million in available cap space, are in a prime position to make a bold move. They're not just looking to add a player, they're looking to reshape their offense, to turn their young core into an even more versatile powerhouse. Laporta's ability to generate over 17 yards after catch per reception and his success in contested catch situations make him a perfect fit for what the Commanders need. Imagine being able to deploy him in a variety of formations, lining up in the slot, in the seam, or even as a move tight end. The potential is enormous. And with the confidence that Howell has shown, especially when throwing to Samuel, this pairing could become one of the league's most dangerous. Samuel's yards per target, around 8.2, combined with Laporta's mismatch potential, would create a nightmare for defenses. They could threaten defenses vertically and horizontally, forcing opponents to double team or double cover, which opens up even more options for other players. The impact of this move extends beyond just the regular season. It's about setting a tone, establishing a new identity for the Commanders' offense, one that's flexible, explosive, and unpredictable. They could see a jump in red zone touchdowns from 1.4 to over 2 per game, which is huge in close contests. Plus, adding Laporta could be a strategic move to counter divisional rivals like the Eagles and Cowboys, who are also bolstering their rosters for playoff pushes. Competition in the NFC East is fierce, and every move counts. And let's not forget the fans. This kind of move energizes the entire fanbase. It sends a message that the Commanders are committed to winning now, that they're willing to make bold trades and invest in their future. We've seen how tight end mismatches can swing games, and Laporta's potential addition could be the piece that puts Washington over the top. It's about making a statement, about showing the league that the Commanders mean business and are ready to compete at the highest level. So, as we approach that trade deadline, all eyes are on the Commanders and the Lions. Will Washington pull the trigger and land Laporta? Will Detroit hold him for a playoff push, or will they opt for the draft capital and cap relief? That's the big question. But one thing is for sure, the potential for a division-shaking move is real, and it's something every Commanders fan should be watching closely. Because if this move happens, it could be the catalyst for a deep playoff run, a new offensive identity, and perhaps just maybe another shot at the Super Bowl. And now, Washington Commanders fans, I want to hear from you. What's your take on this? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. Your opinion matters so much to us and to the Washington Commanders. And don't forget, I'll be back soon with more updates, so stay tuned for the latest Washington Commanders news.